Hey, this is Dustin, your host. Thank you for joining me on this episode of A Wanderer's Way podcast, a podcast dedicated to entertainment and leisure. Alright, so the anime called Parasyte is actually a manga that came out back in the 90s. And it didn't come out anime form until just several years ago. Which, personally, I have to say that it is a masterpiece. And that it is very underrated. And it's kind of unique. There's a lot of other anime that kind of hit in a certain sense of what this plot is. But they can't get it out there as well. Like this one was a lot different. So the synopsis of the whole story and the plot is, as the human race deals with murders all over the world, a high school student by the name of Shinichi has a parasite that's living in his hand, which his character name is Migi, and he discovers the truth. I'm not going to ruin anything of this story whatsoever, so don't expect me to get too full in details on this subject. I'd like to keep you guys wondering, so you actually go and watch it. This is one anime that I will not ruin because it is that damn good. But the plot is very intriguing, and it's paced very well. And it starts from the very beginning all the way until the very end. It is not one of those animes that just sit there and slows down in between in the middle. No, it keeps going. It focuses on that plot. And what makes it such a great masterpiece is that the writing helps the viewers have deep thought throughout the entire series. Instead of just sitting there going, okay, I'm a viewer and I'm just accepting what they tell me. No, they actually force you to think about it if you really accept what is going on or not. And that's what makes it such a great masterpiece. It is that well written. And what's really cool about it is that it's a manga from the 90s. And pretty much it goes word for word from the manga. You don't get that very often at all. So it's pretty neat. The other thing that I like about it is that the main character, Shinichi, absolutely phenomenal, relatable main character, and his development throughout the entire series is pure gold, which also creates that masterpiece for the anime. It's been a long time since I actually found an anime or even a movie or a story of any kind, where the main character has a complete character development throughout the entire story that reflects on him, the people around him, and the plot as well. It's actually really, really intriguing. And the fact that I can relate to him, even as just a normal person, really, to relate is a big plus. With that, you got his right-hand man, literally, a parasite living in his right hand. His name is Migi. And what I love about that situation is that they work together. And I'm not going to give anything else away, really, because I don't want to spoil anything. But that one's an easy one to really understand, even from the synopsis too. And it's really, really intriguing. So I found that there's a lot of angry fans though at the ending of this anime. Again, not going to spoil anything, but I don't get it. When I watched the ending, I thought it was perfect. I think it went with the plot flawlessly. I think it's unexpected. Yeah, it's just that simple. This Parasyte is simply 100% an underrated masterpiece anime. And you guys need to go out and actually give it a shot. It's that damn good. Speaking about underrated anime, not necessarily masterpieces, I wouldn't say. Maybe a couple of them are. But I do have a list here, a 10 anime that I think are very underrated and everyone should definitely check out. So I am definitely tossing this one out there because I feel that not enough people have seen it to even really judge it. And I don't really hear a lot of negative reviews from people either. But Dead Man Wonderland is definitely an underrated anime. First time I actually saw that was actually on Toonami. I love the psychotic take of certain characters in the anime. And the characters themselves are just amazing. That's all I can say. Not going to spoil anything, but Dead Man Wonderland, definitely a good one. Then you got Air Gear. I personally thought that Air Gear was phenomenal. It's an older anime, but I think it's good. You should totally go check it out. You got next is Ushio and Tora. That's another good one. And for the magical girls lovers out there, you got Flip Flappers. A weird name. Not a big fan of the name of it, but the anime is actually not bad at all. I think it's definitely underrated. You got Tamayura. That one's pretty good. Another one that especially for you guys that love action, Angels of Death. That is another one I think is very, very underrated, and you guys need to go check it out. Then I have another one on here called Princess Principal. It's definitely an underrated one, in my opinion. Then you got Flying Witch I have on here. After that, Eden of the East. And I actually know that is well known, but it's very underrated at the same time. And then the last one I actually have on this list is Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. I believe it came out 2 years before the 2011 tsunami and earthquake hit in Japan. And it's actually within a lot of the anime that's actually out there about Japan having earthquakes. Yeah, don't mention the new one on Netflix because that one sucks. Just throwing it out there. It's terrible. But Tokyo Magnitude 8.0 I think is the best in the series to really hit the nail on the head. To really have that drama out there that you need. But yeah, definitely check all these animes out. Number one on that list is definitely Parasyte, so definitely go check out Parasyte if you have not yet. Thank you for joining me on this episode of A Wanderer's Way podcast. This was just a shorter episode. I think I pretty much got everything out there I wanted to say. If you like this, definitely share it around and give me your thoughts and opinions on anime that you think are very underrated, that are the best to you. Give me your top 10 list if you have one, and give me your thoughts about Parasyte after you've watched it. With that, you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will have episode 4 be coming out within the next week.